Okay, hi. My name is Tony Ross, and I'm an aunt to Jared Ross. And Jared is interviewing me for his project at Howard University television station. And he asked me to share with you a story about either food preparation or family. And it dawned on me that these two very much go together because they've always been a central theme in my family. As far back as I can remember, my grandmother has always built a lot of family time around preparing food. One of my favorite stories was when I was about 11 years old, maybe 10. I went over to my grandfather and grandmother's house, Preston and Anna Ross. Now, my granddaddy was from the South, from Virginia, and he used to like to go home and get things from Virginia, cook them and prepare them for the family. One of the things that he liked to make was hogshead cheese. And I was not a favorite, it wasn't one of my favorite dishes, but it was one of his. So when I went over to the house when I was a young girl, I used to like to be on my own and go look at things. I went in the kitchen and something was in the sink and it was covered up with a dishcloth, a wet dishcloth. So being the curious person that I am, I lifted up the dishcloth and much to my shock and dismay was a head of a hog sitting up in the sink. I nearly had a coronary. I started screaming and my grandmother came running. She said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "There's a dead hog's head in the sink." She said, "Oh, girl, don't worry. Your grandpappy's getting ready to make some hogshead cheese." And to this day, I cannot eat hogshead cheese.
Oh, wow.
But it was just all part of, how essential food was in the family. My maternal grandmother, Rachel Woodton, used to bake cakes and fried chicken for the church. And I would come over sometime after school or on the weekend when she was preparing, and she'd always make a cake. She made a caramel cake, yellow cake with caramel icing. And then she would put it on the table, wrap it up in wax paper, and then she'd tell me she had a little bit on the side. Then she would cut me a piece of that cake, and then she would sit there looking at me and she'd say, "How it tastes." Now, you knew the cake tastes wonderful, but she would always do that to me. And she was really good about teaching me and my mothers and my aunts about cooking food. And her sweet potato pie recipe is one we still cherish today and still use in the family. But I can't get that caramel cake icing together for nothing. I've been trying. Closest I ever found to it was a place in Chicago. So maybe those people came from Virginia. But I did run into a lady in my church who told me that she knew somebody from Virginia who made the best caramel cake in the world. And I'll bet you it's the same recipe my grandmother used to live.